Should you opt in or out of overdraft protection? Assalamu alaikum, my name is Rakan Kieli and welcome to Practical Islamic Finance. In the United States, when you open a checking account, by law, the bank is required to ask you if you want to opt in or out of overdraft protection. And while opting into overdraft protection often sounds like a good thing, because after all, you're receiving protection, you need to consider what it actually means to opt into overdraft protection. When you opt into overdraft protection, if you make a charge on your account that is for an amount that is greater than what you have in that account, the bank will allow your balance to go into the negative and they will charge you an overdraft fee. And then for every additional charge that you make while your balance is in the negative, they're going to charge you an additional overdraft fee. So let me give you a hypothetical example just to illustrate what I mean. Let's say you're a college student and you only carry in your account a few $100 at a time, because that's all you have after all. And let's say you have $100 in your account, but you think you have $200 in your account. And the reason is because a electricity bill went through and it was automatically charged to your account and you weren't aware of this. And so your account is now at 100 and you thought it was 200. You're at the store, you're considering buying a textbook. The textbook costs $150. So you think that you have 200, so you buy the textbook. And when you buy the textbook, if you had opted into overdraft protection, that charge will go through. And your account will go into the negative. So now you're at negative $50. But because you're in the negative, the bank will charge you an overdraft fee, which is typically around $40, depending on the bank. So now you're at negative $90. And let's assume that after you bought the textbook, you go and buy lunch. Let's say you pay $10 for your lunch. And then after lunch, you buy a pack of gum. When you bought the lunch for $10, because your account was in the negative, the bank is going to charge you an additional $40 overdraft fee. And when you buy the gum, it's going to charge you an additional $40 overdraft fee. So now you're at $120 in overdraft fees, all because you made the mistake of thinking that your balance was 200 when in fact it was 100. So now when you check your account balance, you're going to think that you're going to see 200 minus 150 minus 10 minus, let's say, $1 for the pack of gum. You're going to expect to see $39, but in fact, you're going to see negative $181. So instead of seeing $39, you're seeing negative $181, which is a very unpleasant surprise. And this was all facilitated and enabled by the fact that you had opted into overdraft protection. And why I say that is because had you opted out of overdraft protection, when you attempted to purchase the textbook, the bank would decline your charge. So you would not be able to make the purchase of the textbook. And at which point you would know that you need to check your account balance and you would see that your balance was in fact 100, not 200. And maybe you wait until your next paycheck in order to buy the textbook, or you just borrow from your friends. And then you can still go and buy your lunch and buy the pack of gum without going into the negative. So I advise people, especially people who keep low balances in their accounts, to opt out of overdraft protection, because chances are what's going to happen is that a mistake is made. You think your balance is so-and-so, and it's not. It's something less. And a few charges go through, and all of a sudden, you're racking up all these overdraft fees at a time when you least can afford to pay them. Now, there is a type of overdraft protection where they link your savings account to your checking account, and they transfer automatically from your savings to your checking when your checking is overdrawn to make up the balance. That's a good option if you keep in your savings account a healthy balance. But if you don't have much in your savings account to begin with, there's not much point in doing that, because after they check your savings account, if they don't find the money that they need, they're going to charge you an overdraft fee because your account balance will go into the negative. Something to keep in mind if you opt out of overdraft protection is that you have to be extra careful when you're writing checks, because there are few financial sins that are more grave than bouncing a check. Writing a check for funds that don't actually exist in your account, that are more than what exists in your account. So when you're writing a check, make sure you're checking your balance, taking into account all the future charges that are going to go into your account. So make sure that you have enough money to cover that check even after those future charges go through. Additionally, keep in mind that you may have written other checks that haven't been cashed yet, so you need to take those checks into account when calculating your real balance and what you can actually write a check for. Again, the advice is to opt out of overdraft protection, be very careful when you're writing checks, and always check your account balance to make sure that nothing is going on without you knowing and you avoid any fees that the bank may charge you. So hopefully this episode was beneficial and it saves you money in the future. If I've earned your subscription, thank you. Until next time, take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.